everyone. My name is Juan Grimaldo with Keller Williams and the Grimaldo Group, and I have Luis here today. We want to talk about it. Who are you, first of all?
So my name is Luis. I've been with Keller Williams. This is my 8th month. I am on the team of Legacy Homes. So I came with a construction background. Just started this earlier this year, and so far I'm loving every minute of it.
I met Luis when he first started, and he was going to every training there was here in the office, and now we've been seeing him at the gym almost every day. And I asked him, how do you feel so far? What is your success? And what I've seen is in the office, I can see him moving up and rank right away. He's been working hard at it, and that's why I invited him over. I feel like he's very inspirational. You want to tell us a little bit about, what has changed? How do you change your mindset from, being an employee to being self-employed? I think that's a huge change, isn't it?
Yeah. As of last year, 19 years in the construction field, always had a supervisor, superior, a higher up that pretty much tells you, what to do. So last year, and I've said this before, is 2020 was a really rough year for a lot of people. I was actually laid off due to COVID. So I took that time to go to school and get my license, but I got into real estate, and I knew that, this is different, completely out of my comfort zone, what I'm not used to. I mean, I'm a construction guy, I build stuff. So I got into real estate, and I said that this year I was going to do all the stuff that I either never did or I was uncomfortable doing. So getting into this field, being your own business owner, you have to learn how to do a lot of things that are out of your comfort zone. And a lot of that is meeting new people, putting yourself out there, reaching out and introducing yourself. So with that, it's, I never owned a gym membership, and coming in here, meeting all these guys like Juan and them who go to the gym. I said, what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my first gym membership, and I'm going to start going to the gym so I can work out. There was a point in time where we had like a Bible study, and it was something that I would never do. And when I got invited to be a part of that, I got into that, and I joined the group, and, you meet all these people. So for me, it's having that mindset of it. Typically last year and before, I would say, no, I wouldn't do that. And now it's like, well, yes, I want to try that. Or, if I'm given the opportunity to, hey, this is what we're trying to do, I want to be a part of it. So with that, it's changing everything from what I've been used to what I'm not used to now. But I noticed that when you do that, the return is always greater. It's always better. Just coming in, showing up every day, meeting everyone that's here in the office, working side by side with a lot of the agents here. It's definitely given me a newer perspective of the way I view things onto how I used to view them last year and all that.
Right. And what I heard you say is that, like, basically you change your life in a way that your habits have changed, right? So
yeah.
Tell us more about that. So you say you go to the gym now? How often do you go?
So right now, when I first started, my mentor, who kind of has been showing me everything since day one, Greg, he pretty much told me, like, if you get a membership, like, I'll dedicate 3 days out of the week to go with you, because I was nervous. I didn't want to go by myself. I was, shy, scared. And so he did that. I got my membership, and he was showing up three times a week with me. And then as of right now, like, I'm going to the gym every day. I once again, going back to doing something that I would probably never do, is I started the 75 hard. I know it's out there. Social media has been talking a lot about it. People are asking about it. So usually when I say I'm on the 75 hard, people typically know what that is. But the 75 hard is for 75 days. You have to do 2 workouts, 2 activities, 1 indoor, 1 outdoor. And they both have to be 45 minutes each. So right now I go to the gym every day. That's my indoor. And then typically I do a hike. I do the Verado stairs almost every morning. If not, it can be an activity like walking my dog in the evening. For 45 minutes. So those are your 2 workouts. You have to drink a gallon of water a day. So I'm doing that. You have to be on a diet, no alcohol, no cheat meals, no pastries. So it has to be more of a strict diet. I'm vegetarian as it is. So even though you're vegetarian, you can still eat unhealthy. So now I'm making smarter choices to eat healthier. And then the last one, which is probably the hardest one to do, you have to read a book, a self-improvement book, 10 pages a day. So that's number 4. And then the last one, number 5, is where most people fail, is you have to take a photo of yourself every day. And it's really easy to forget to take like your selfie, your gym photo. I've done it to where I've been in bed and I'm like, I never took my photo. So I have to get out of bed, put my clothes back on, my gym clothes, and then take my photo because I have to take a photo every day. But now this ends for me December 15th. But so far, like the transformation of starting since October 1st, I've seen a huge difference in, and the 75 hard isn't about to lose weight. It's about mental strengthening. That's what the 75 hard is all about. It is, mental strengthening, decision making. Typically when it's real easy to say, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I noticed that a lot of times before I would push things off. Now it's like, I'm going to do them. I'm going to do them today. It's real easy to make an excuse and not do anything, but that's what this whole thing is about. But I've noticed since I've started, it's really easy that I would typically push stuff off till the next day, that I'm actually trying to do more in that same day. I feel better when I wake up. I feel more energetic. I'm starting to see notice like of me losing the weight. I can feel it now in my shirts and my pants. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, that's what I've been doing is a 75 hard.
One of the things that you mentioned when I talked to you last time is that you didn't want to do a video because you didn't feel comfortable with that, right?
Yes.
Well, you sound very confident to me, right, guys? What do you guys think, right? So how did you gain this confidence?
It goes back to like putting yourself out there. I mean, I have, all my photos that I've had is always pictures of my wife and my kids. I don't ever have photos of me unless someone else takes them of us. But I've always been that person. Like, I'll take the photos. I'm not one to really put myself in front of the camera or take photos of myself. And I guess it goes back to, this was right before the 75 hard had started, but I did an introduction video about why I got into real estate on my business page. And I was nervous the whole time. Like, it was great because I had Dallas who actually did it for me. But while we were in the room, he made it so simple, so easy, and I felt vulnerable. And I was in front of the camera, but he made it look so easy. And I noticed that I got so much positive feedback from that one video. And I was thinking it was worse or it could have been better. And I think I got maybe close to 100 likes, and I probably got somewhere to like 50 or 60 messages from that video. So then I did another one. And I did another one talking about like, one-on-one consultation. And I got a lot of positive feedback on that one too. But for example, when you asked me like, hey, would you want to do this? I probably would have said no. But the fact is, like, it's going back to like, you have to put yourself out there, and I've always been one where I think before real estate, I've always just wanted the opportunity. And I feel like a lot of opportunities were missed or I missed the opportunity because it wasn't given to me. So now my mindset is I'm not waiting for the opportunity to be given to me. I'm going to take it.
You create it.
So
you create opportunity. Yeah.
So now that's how it is. It's like, I'm not waiting for the opportunity. I'm going to grab it.
Some people think that some people are lucky, and the thing is, it's not that they're lucky, is that they're out there more. My daughter used to play soccer, and one of the things that I noticed is certain players will have the ball more often than everybody else. Mm-hmm. Are they luckier than the rest? Or are they looking for the ball more than the rest? Do they want to play more than the rest? Right? So us putting ourselves out there gives us the opportunities that other people don't get because they don't try, right? It's so simple. I mean, they say that 75% of people will go with the first agent that they meet. So you don't have to be the best, you have to be first, right?
Yeah.
So that, and going back to that is based on, are you getting exposed? Are you exposing yourself out there to get those opportunities, right? So I honestly, the reason, like I said, I wanted to bring you on board is because we share a lot of the commonalities when it comes to success, right? Like everybody wants to be successful, yet nobody wants to do what it takes. Getting up early, because I see you in the gym at 5 a.m. You're reading books, which you can only know so much by yourself, because you're going to learn from experience or from those with experience. That's what Warren Buffett said, right? Either you work and you learn by yourself, which is going to take you your whole life, or you can just use other people's experience that is right there, available right here. There's my wife, beautiful wife. And then we have the books. I'm always reading. A lot of these books I haven't read in paper, but I listen to them. So I'm not great with sitting down and reading a book, yet I still put those AirPods or earbuds and go to the gym and listen to that book, which to me, that's another thing that fascinated from you, that in a short period of time, you create a lot of success. Well, was that success by luck, or did you go get it?
So I went to go get it.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure, I don't know if you lost weight or anything, but did you lose weight?
Yeah, I've lost weight. Yeah. So when I first started, and this is before the 75 hard, this is kind of right when I got into real estate. Before I even started going to the gym, I was 267.
Wow.
And then so as of, I think the other day, I weighed myself and I was 234.
Oh my God, it's a big change. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So, and again, this is a lifestyle, right? It's not that you do it every now and then. It's like people go to the gym for one day and they want to get, big, and they get discouraged because in a month they don't see any results. In anything in life, it's called the compound effect, right? You don't save a dollar and you become rich. You start saving little by little, then you invest it so that it grows. Same thing with your life. What are you investing in, right? Are you investing in yourself? I think one of the biggest things and where we miss is we don't invest in ourselves, right? What is the most important investment you have? Your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people put their money everywhere except they're, right here where it's more important. And that mindset is going to take you really, really far, man. And I'm happy to see you succeed and be gaining all this success in such a short period of time. And I wanted to share with everybody else because everything is possible. Anything is possible. It's just up to you. And you've taken action, and that's really cool. And one thing you mentioned is being uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you're comfortable, you have what everybody else has. If you're uncomfortable, and trust me, this was nerve-wracking for me at the beginning. Right now, people say, you know what? I don't know. I sound different in video. I sound different when I talk on the camera. It's you. People like you the way you are or don't like you the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
So those that like you are going to be watching you no matter what. And those who don't like you are not going to watch you no matter what. So why not take a chance, right?
Yeah. If it's one thing I learned coming into real estate, and you probably hear this word all the time, it's consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, people whether, and I think you should take that just even out of real estate in life in general is consistency. Whatever you're doing, you might not see the outcome right away, like going to the gym for one day and you're like, oh, I haven't lost anything. But you have to keep doing it. You have to keep pushing yourself. You have to keep striving to be, I set goals. So like when I first started, my goal was I wanted to be at 250. Well, then I hit the 250 mark. So then my next goal was I want to be at 240. So now my goal right now is I want to hit 230. And that's just a weight goal. So the other thing too is I noticed that for new agents, I think one of the hardest hurdles for them when you start is not like showing up. And I tell most of the new agents when they come in, you just got to show up. I try to come in 3 or 4 times out of the week to be here. When I first started, I did all the training classes. I completed it, and then I did it again because I knew that there was more to take.
Most people say, forgive me for interrupting you, but this came to mind before I forget it. They come in here, they got a license, and they know it all. Mm-hmm. Is that right? No. There's so much to learn in this business that I've been doing this for 14 years. We've sold over 600 homes as a team, and I still feel like I'm new.
Yeah. Yeah, I always tell people you can always learn more. Doesn't matter. I mean, I did construction for 19 years. I was still learning stuff at the end. Right. I mean, because as every year, technology and stuff everything expands, it grows. You're not always going to know it all because next year there's going to be something new to learn.
Why is there innovation, right? Because things are changing. I mean, if we would have stuck, Henry Ford used to say that if he would have listened to people, he would have just made a bigger wagon instead of the car, right? And I wanted to share this. When you mentioned consistency, this came to mind, so I was looking at my phone for that quote from Bruce Lee. It says, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, meaning you go to the gym once, maybe you go hike once, and that's it. He says, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. There's a really good book called The One Thing, and I always recommend it for that reason. Sometimes we want to go really wide instead of going very narrow and straightforward. And that's what you're doing with your career. I mean, you're going all in on real estate, and I congratulate you on that. On your health, you're consistent every day. You're working at it every single day, and you may not see the results in a couple of days, but you'll see them in a year or 2 years. It took us how long to get here? Like I was really, really chubby, and I used to, and I eat. I don't know. I'm not the greatest when it comes to eating. I love food, yet I still work out every single day, no matter what, because I want to be healthy. I want to be able to get up in the morning, be able to walk. If I want to be able to see my grandkids grow, and play with them, not just see them. I don't want to be like, I can't bend over to play with them. It's just so hard, right?
Yeah.
So again, what kind of lifestyle do you want to create, right?
Yeah.
Not just for one day.
Yeah, and I get people that ask me right now when I tell them I'm doing the 75 hard, they're like, oh, what happens afterwards? That's going to be over like that, but I'm going to keep going. Yeah. I want to keep striving. I mean, this is just like part of like this program for mental strengthening, but just because it ends, it doesn't mean that it ends for me.
Exactly.
Like I'm still going to keep going to the gym. I'm still going to keep doing outdoor activities. I mean, you know, so I just want to do more, you know, in
Definitely.
general. So it doesn't stop. I mean, just because it ends doesn't mean it has to end with you.
Exactly.
You can keep going.
Definitely. And that's what I say when I say a lifestyle. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to work out every now and then because I want to be healthy every now and then. Well, do you want to be healthy all the time? You just consistently work out. If you want to consistently have a nice bank account, you consistently prosper, you consistently make your phone calls, you're out there exposing yourself so you can sell and do your business, right?
Yeah.
And this applies to any business. It doesn't have to be just a real estate. If you're a landscaper, you're going to go out there and knock on doors. Hey, I did your friend's yard. Can I do yours? You know, just you have to constantly be doing that. If you do that, you're going to build a business that you're going to create basically an empire. And I think that's where most people, like you said earlier, that's where they fail because they want to do it once. They want to get a deal. They go on vacation and then what, right?
Yeah.
So consistency is the name of the game. Very good. You mentioned Bible study. Did that continue or not? 'Cause I also came once.
We finished it, and then obviously with the schedule and because we have the time block for that. We were waiting to try to find a schedule again. It hasn't started up again, but I think we're planning to do it again at the beginning of the year.
Okay, awesome. That's important. I mean, having God in our lives is key, right? We have a Bible study on Tuesdays at our house. It's bilingual, so if you guys want to come, it's in Spanish. Hit me up. We'd love to have you. Let's see. I think we covered pretty much everything. And then you're reading. Which book are you reading right now? You can recommend us.
So the one I'm reading right now is Can't Hurt Me.
I love it.
Marshall in our office was the one that actually gave me that book. So I did the 4 Agreements first. That was the first book I started with, and I haven't read a book since middle school.
Awesome.
So to pick up a book again, and my wife has been trying to get me to read for years, and then finally I do this program, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start reading. So I did the 4 Agreements, and then I did Can't Hurt Me, and I'm almost done with that. And I got another one from Greg, which I can't remember the name of that one, but I know it's the one that I'm gonna jump into right afterwards. But yeah, I actually look forward to reading now. And it's supposed to be 10 pages a day, but sometimes you get so invested, I'll go a couple extra pages because I want to get to the end, at least of that chapter,
Right.
so I can know like the outcome. So yeah, it's definitely reading was a big one. I thought that was going to be the hardest one, and I think that reading has been by far the easiest thing to do out of those 5 things you have to do a day.
Do you sit down and read a book, or do you actually listen to it?
No, I read it. Yeah,
You read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I usually try to read it in the morning. Typically, it doesn't happen until about bedtime. So, but I always take the book with me if there's an opportunity where I can open it up. I'll try to read a page or 2 if I get a chance.
So do me a favor, repeat that 75 hard for those that may want to do it.
So the 75 hard is 75 days, and it's for mental strengthening, and there's 5 things you need to do. So number 1 is you have to do, it's not really about like a workout, but you have to do an indoor activity and an outdoor activity for 45 minutes. So like your indoor activity, it could be a small little workout. It could just be on a treadmill for 45 minutes. Your outdoor activity, it could be swimming, even walking the dog. It's just 1 indoor, 1 outdoor. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you have to drink a gallon of water a day.
Okay.
So I actually went on Amazon and bought one of those jugs that actually say 1 gallon. It tells you like your times.
Right on.
So a gallon of water a day. Number 3 is you have to be on a diet. So if you weren't on a diet, or if you were a stricter diet, 1 is no alcohol.
Okay.
So like no pastries, no sweets. There's no cheat meals. So like if you're going to be on a diet, like you have to strictly be on a diet. Number 4 is the reading. You have to read a self-improvement book, 10 pages every day.
Okay.
And then the last one for accountability is you have to take a photo of yourself.
That's awesome.
So I think it's 80 to 90% of the people that actually do the 75 hard do not do it all the way till the
50%?
end. Well, what it is so if you miss one of those, you got to go back to day 1. And some people will be 35, 40 days in, and they'll miss one of them. They won't start over. They'll just keep going and finish it. So they say, like, realistically, I think it's 80 to 90% of the people that do it don't actually complete it the honest way. Because it's an honor thing, right? You're supposed
Of course.
Because if you're cheating yourself. You're not cheating anybody else.
Definitely.
But he says most of the people that say that they completed it, they tend to mess up, and they won't go back to day 1.
You know what? I'm thinking about it right now. What if we do a challenge for everybody out there that's listening, and we'll do it January. I'll do it with you.
Okay.
Okay, deal?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So 75 hard, January 1st. And I'll go ahead and I'll post it on Facebook, and I'm going to ask who's in, and we'll create a private group for that so that we can, help each other. not only start with a New Year's resolution, but a New Year's plan to get it going. Like we do a mile challenge, and I did it last year, and some people from Facebook joined us. It's basically walking, running, walking or running a mile a day. So I think this is great because it'll pretty much encompass everything that we want to achieve with that. So
I know that on Spotify, if you actually search the 75 hard, there's 2 podcasts from the guy who created it. There's one where the podcast is before he did it, and then the other podcast is after he did it.
okay.
But yeah, if you just search 75 hard, you can find it on Spotify.
Why don't we do it even deeper? Like with the team with that mile, what we do is if you don't do one of these 5 things a day, it's $100. And those $100 will go to a charity, or maybe even your nemesis, like somebody you don't like from that is in real estate that you want to beat them with sales, and say, you know what, I'm going to give you $100 so that they do it. Like yesterday, I've been doing the mile pretty much the whole year, and yesterday I got a little ill. My stomach was not doing great. So the other guy that I'm doing with, because we did our challenge like 3 times already, and we're about to finish the other one. And he's like, you know what, I'm tired. I didn't do it. We have Bible study on Tuesdays. And I'm like, you know what? I don't feel good either. So, all right, we'll skip today, just today. So this is not going to be excuses. We're going to do it the 75 days, every single thing. If you're in, let's do $100 penalty so that there's a little bit of pain for people to commit to it 100% with $100 if they fail. And then we can just come up with the charity or something that we can donate, or even KW Cares.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Well, so last thing, and I just started doing this. So when I was in construction, I worked with the same guys,
right?
You know, so it was the same guys always around me. So I never really thought much of it. So till this day, I have people that they think I have a black eye. I don't have a black eye, but when I meet people for the first time, it now dawns on my head, like, man, they probably think I have a black eye because all these other people think I have a black eye. So I just on my business, so I have the name now, the Black Eyed Agent. So I had switched my stuff over because I said, well, if I'm being asked this all the time, I might as well promote it.
I like it.
They're going to ask. So, but that's like the one thing is I always meet people and they think I have a black eye, or it's not until I've known them for a while, then they ask me. And they'll tell me constantly, I thought you had a black eye. And it's like, I don't have a black eye.
It's a birthmark, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's just like darker skin around that area, and when I went to, they just said, if you want to put makeup on, I'm not.
I was gonna think about that.
But yeah, so like my Instagram and it's the Black Eyed Agent. I ended up switching that over, and I just did it over the weekend, so it's fairly recent. And I actually had a bunch of people message me when they saw I had changed my name, and they thought it was brilliant. And most of them, they know the reason why, because I always have this conversation, and like the saying goes, if I had a nickel, you know, for every time someone asked me about that,
you'd be rich.
Oh yeah, so it's just like, so why not market it now? You know,
definitely.
But yeah, so that was like the one thing, and I always throw it out there now because if you don't know, I don't have a black eye, but I am called the Black Eyed Agent.
I saw you from the get-go, and I've been seeing you for months, and I'm like, no, that's not a black eye.
Yeah.
So, anyways, well, thank you so much for coming.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have an amazing day, and let me know if you're in for the challenge, the 75 hard. Let's do it.